and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out of here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime game. And that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us we got Brian Bitler with us. Jovan Burts is signing momentarily. Brad Francis. Zawacky. We have Jay Briggs and David Racey, and here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Bitler, Racey, Briggs, Francis, Burts, Zawacky, then I will close this one out. All right, championship football here, right? College football here. We got Washington and Michigan, and we also have 6 on the NBA, action on the ice, college hoops as well. So let's get this one underway. Let's go and welcome in Brian Bitler. He always opens up the drive-thru here for the week. Catch him over at Pig Dogs Premium. We'll bring Brian in right now. Ready to roll with Brian. Brian, what's happening?
Oh, ready to start the week on another great drive-through show. We got all the heavy hitters here in the lineup tonight. I'm licking my wounds from a rough Sunday, but Monday's the start of a new week, ready to get off on a nice winning streak. We've got a big college football game tonight, so definitely ready to make some money.
Yeah, ready to make some money indeed here tonight. We go to the NBA here tonight as the Rockets go head-to-head. We'll see how the Rockets can handle this. The Heat at home laying 4. We see the total sits at 219.5.
On a limited card for this Monday, I think the best free play I can give out here for the Monday drive-thru would be the Houston. If we take a look at the Houston Rockets traveling to take on the Miami Heat, and I know that Rockets team better at home ATS-wise, but Miami Heat over the last 2 years haven't got it done at home against the spread. This year they're 5-10-1 ATS at home. Miami has owned the Rockets, though, both straight up and against the spread over the last 10 meetings. 8-2 straight up, 7-2-1 against the number. But this it's not the same Rockets team that Miami's faced off with over the years. I think this Rockets team focused in on defense. And let's not forget this Miami Heat did have an extra day leading into this game, but they're coming back off of that 5-game long road trip. I think this is a one-possession game. I'm going to take the Houston Rockets here plus the points.
All right, we got Brian here with plus the points here with the Houston Rockets against the Miami Heat in this one. Yeah, Rockets have shown some improvement this year, but 2 rotational players out today, and this is the concern here. Obviously, Dylan Brooks was brought over along with Van Fleet, bringing a little bit of veteran leadership. He's out, and a rookie who was actually can give you scoring off the bench, and Terry Eason out tonight here for Houston.
Yeah, but the Miami Heat are without their heart and soul Jimmy Bitler. I know that's already reflected in the line. If you look at these two teams statistics-wise, I think they're about even in points per game. I think the big difference is the defensive rating and the rebounds. The Reds have a big. I think that's going to help keep them in the ballgame tonight.
All right, there we go with Brian here on the Rockets. Plus 4 against the Heat. This one to start here, 7:30 Eastern Time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, action on the board here tonight from the NBA, about 6-game card from the NBA. We have action on the ice. Lots of college hoops, small conferences in action. The big one from college football. We can see here Brian doing great work in college basketball tonight for this this season. 892 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dogs. What do you have going on over at the site?
No, even after my debacle yesterday, my titanium play still 28-13, 68% over the last 41. You can get my titanium championship college football play over at pickdogs.com. Just $25 gets you that best bet. Also have a winner up in the NBA. So guys, make sure you head on over to pickdogs.com. Maybe pair me up with one of these all-star handicappers as I rebound from yesterday and get a nice sweep together here for Monday.
That's right, guys. Got to work with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dog. We see the great results from Brian here in college hoops. Of course, showing profit for the last 30 days as well over on the 30-day leaderboard. You can also get on board with the long-term pass. You guys love that 7-day pass. Get Brian's put in place for 7 days. Most of the NFL, I'll probably have that Monday night game in early. So we'll get the NFL wild card round of the postseason as well as all the NBA college hoops action for tonight as well at college football. Use promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. All right, Brian, as always, great having you show. Success. We'll catch up with you again later in the week. But of course, the Eagles are out there in Philadelphia. They're taking on big heat. A lot of issues here with this Eagles team. They've limping into the playoffs. That lost to the Giants. They fall out of the division lead. They're in a wild card game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We see the line open 1.5. Philadelphia getting money early here. We see Philly anywhere from a 3 to 2.5 point favorite.
Yeah, back in my younger days, I used to love to listen to sports talk radio. I'm sure that they're going crazy. Me, I try to take myself out of it. First line, makes me want to bet Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay pretty hot cover wise to finish out the year. The Eagles couldn't have looked worse losing to Arizona and New York. So I'm gonna have to watch to see how that line develops and how the betting action moves as the week goes on. But right now, slightly in the Tampa Bay with the points, I think.
One of the lower totals. There are three of the games are at 44, so we see the ball there at 44 here in this one. Tampa Bay not much of a run game here, just kind of extra. Leave it on Baker's shoulders here to get it done.
Yeah, how bad the Eagles' defense has looked. If they could get pressure on Baker Mayfield for some turnovers here, you know how the NFL is. You look crappy for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden you look like world beaters. So maybe the Eagles can turn it on, maybe square off with the Cowboys, and we have an interesting matchup maybe in the future.
That's right. Look forward to the NFL playoffs come up soon. All right, Brian, let us know what you got. We find out what we have going on Pick Dogs. Remember, over on the channel, we catch you some of your weekend appearances. Also, you have your daily appearance with your daily video series.
Make sure everybody checks out my sharp contrarian betting predictions every single day. I couldn't make it this last weekend because I'm doing some dog sitting for my parents, and not that that takes all day, but I'm not used to taking care of a kid and 3 dogs. But this next weekend I'm going to have my system lined up, and I'll be able to hang out with all my friends at pickdogs.com. Should be a good weekend.
All right, should be a great weekend. All right, Brian, have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you on Friday.
Thanks, Tony. Hopefully by the end of the week I'm streaking into the show.
Absolutely. That's right. Get that streak going. Brian Bitler here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, bringing David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring David in right now. We'll let you also find out a little bit about his written work on the sites. We'll bring David in right now. NHL coverage tonight on this NHL card. We'll bring in David here in just a second here. I think we'll be set to roll with David Racey. David, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Doing great. All right, here we go. NHL Network, a game tonight. Features the Penguins and Flyers going head-to-head here with the Penguins favored on the road minus $1.24. Total sits here at 6.5.
Yeah, the Penguins come into this one. They're playing pretty well recently. They've won 6 out of their last 9, but they have lost 2 out of their last 3 with both of those losses coming against Buffalo and Washington. The Penguins have been decent offensively this year. They're scoring just over 3 goals per game, and they've scored 4 goals or more in 4 of their last 7 games. But I'm going to roll with the home team tonight. I like this Philadelphia Flyers team in this spot. The Flyers have lost 4 of their last 5 games. The offense has been an issue this season, but they did beat Calgary by a score of 3-2 last time out. Like I said, though, the Flyers offense has struggled a little bit. They're only scoring 2.9 goals per game. But they're playing a Pittsburgh team that's allowed 12 goals in their last 3 games. So I think the Flyers are able to get back on track here. I'm also a huge fan of Carter Hart, who is the goalie for the Flyers. I think he's one of the better goalies in the league. And I think this matchup is very even. So I'm going to take Philly at home with the small plus money.
All right, we got a pick here from David here. Says, go ahead and take, in this one, take the Flyers here, plus money here, plus the 112 here against the Pittsburgh Penguins, as these two here lock up going head-to-head in this battle in the division, right? This is an interesting battle here where we've seen Pittsburgh here about almost split their games against the division this season. And of course, the Flyers coming in over 500-8-6 facing the division. Of course, we see over the past 5 games, it's really where they got to really pick up that scoring.
Yeah, and that Metropolitan Division is crazy. There's like 7 teams separated only by 7 points. So that Metro Division is very good. So it's exciting because Pittsburgh, they're at 42 points. They're sitting second to last, while Philadelphia's at 46 and they're third. So not a huge difference in points, but big difference in the standing. So it's interesting. It'll be fun to watch how this Metro plays out. But I've always liked when these two teams play head-to-head, especially when we get into the postseason. Definitely 2 teams that don't like each other. But I do think the home ice advantage here for Philly will play a part.
What did you make of the coaching change into Pittsburgh with Philly this year?
Yeah, well, really, there's been I know it happened prior too, but there's been a ton of coaching changes if you just look at the last calendar month. And I know we talk about it all the time, right? NHL coaching changes happen like the weather, and it's amazing. These teams that switch coaches tend to do better, whether it's just a change up in the locker room or what. But this Flyers team started the season playing very well. they've hit a snag here recently, but I do like them. And like I said, Carter Hart's one of my favorite goalies in the league, and he's a great guy to have as a backstop back there.
Yeah, look at the stop the bleeding here. I'll lose it for the past 5 out. David here on the Flyers, plus 111 here against the Penguins tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. This is your TV game on NHL Network. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we do have on the board tonight NHL, as well as about 6-pack here from the NBA. Lots of college hoops, small conference action going. That big one here from college football. Great work here from David here. 1,494 units of profit in the NHL. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, tonight I have one play in the college football game, one play in the NBA, and an NHL 3-pack. I've been red hot in bowl season. I'm over 57% in the NBA. I'm over 56% in the NHL. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium. Join me for the night. Pair me up with another capper. Or if you're looking for better value, join me long term. But, yeah, it's been a great start to the NHL season. We'll look to keep it going.
That's right, guys. Get up over David Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results David's producing in the NHL. So get on board. Remember the long-term passes. That will serve you really well. 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all David's premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to his handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK saves you that 15% off. Also showing great profit here in the NBA as well. All right, David, as always, great having a show. Of course, you're up there based in the Detroit area. Got to talk about those Lions and the Rams. Rams will be coming in. Of course, one of the hotter teams in the league. The Lions will be laying 3.5. We see the total, one of the higher totals actually right now, the highest total currently right now, seen about 52 to 51.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous. This is kind of a storybook matchup here. You had Stafford, who played all those years in Detroit, coming back. Part of me worries that he's going to come back and just put the absolute nail in the Lions season. This passing attack for the Rams has been pretty solid, and they're going up against a Lions secondary that is not good, but I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out faith. I think it'll be a shootout, and I'm hoping Goff and the boys can get one more touchdown than Stafford.
Yeah, that's how it looks there. See how it rolls here. With, of course, David, also the Michigan area. We talked earlier about that Michigan and Washington game. We've seen that line move up now, 5.5, maybe even might hit 6 before we get to kickoff. We're seeing some money here coming on this Michigan team. Of course, it opened 4.5, about 5.5, 5s now in most places.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this one goes. Washington's got that prolific passing attack. They've been one of my favorite teams this year, actually, to bet. So this is a tough game for me to pick which side, go with my heart or go with the team that's been profitable for me this year. But it's going to be interesting to see how Washington does against this Michigan defense, because this will be the best defense Washington's faced. I know Washington has one of the best offensive lines in the country. So if they can hold up and give Penix time, that'll be the key. Penix will pick anyone apart if he has time. So it should be a great matchup. I love that they moved the start time to 7:30, because I know in the past it wouldn't start to like 8:30 or 8:45, and then it's midnight by the time it's done. So I love the start time change. I'm definitely nervous for the game, but I'm excited that Michigan made it this far for sure.
Yeah, it should be a great game tonight. All right, Dave. Of course, we know we can catch your written work over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat.
Yep, I'm one of the free pick article writers over there. You just head to either site, pickdogs.com or sportschatplace.com. Click on the free picks tab. You click on whatever sports you're looking for. You can get a free pick in just about any sport. For college basketball, Pick Dogs has every single game. Sports Chat just has the bigger games. But head on over there. It's a great source of information. You can see some trends, and you get a free pick out of it.
That's right, guys. Check it out at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat. Please look for David Racey there, written contributor. All right, David, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. You too.
You got it. David Racey here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, of course, Jay Briggs. Bring Jay. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, you catch him in the mornings here. Every morning here. During the week, it's 10:30 a.m. Eastern time with that morning show. We'll bring Jay in right now. Also, it features a very popular video series with the NBA Rundown as well. Also, Rundown the NFL. We are now in playoff time now, so I'll bring in Jay right now. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, my man?
Everything's going great. All right, here we go tonight. Jay, familiar team here. I'm expecting to see the Hornets back there on the board. But anyway, we got the Bulls and Hornets going head-to-head tonight. We see the Bulls road favorite 6.5, total 215.5.
Yes, sir, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, guys. Y'all know the drill. I love coming on the drive-thru and telling you guys to fade the Hornets, and that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. We cashed on Friday. I believe that was Friday. We were here. We
Yep.
took the Bulls against the Hornets, and we cashed, and we're going to do it again here on Monday. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you on Friday. The Bulls, when they win against the Charlotte Hornets, they kick the crap out of them. 9 of the last 11 meetings the Bulls have won, and I believe every last one of them was by double digits. So there's actually 2 ways you can play this game. If you think the Hornets compete, take a money line, because when they compete in this series, they win outright. And if not, take the Bulls and maybe even look at laying something extended is my story. So I like the Bulls personally to win it. So I'm personally going to lay the 6.5. I might even try to look at like 11, 12, somewhere in that range. It's a Bulls style spot. I like it even more if Levine doesn't play, in all honesty. Y'all know my feelings about him. I saw he was game time decision. But in all honesty, these are the games the Bulls have to win if they're going to get back into the thick of things in the East. They have to win these games. Remember, the Bulls were on the outside looking in last year, and this team's probably heading to blowing up here soon, but they still have some guys and pieces that need to win games. They are the better team here tonight. I like them laying the 6.5.
All right, Jay says go lay the 6.5 here against the Hornets. Latest on Levine, there was earlier reports saying that he was going to be probable. Now they kind of scaled back on it. They're going to see how he feels, game time decision. But no matter what, there will be a minutes restrictions. Even though he's slotted, if he plays slotted in starting lineup, I would doubt that he even starts. Of course, with a minute restriction. Interesting here with Charlotte, right? They're dealing with They're dealing with many injuries here. They're at home here. They have the 2 days off after that long road trip. I guess they've celebrated Christmas and New Year's when they got back home because they were in the air during the holidays, and they spent the entire holiday season on the road out on the West Coast. So they needed 2 days off. They gave them the 2 days off in this one. But the one thing to note here is when Charlotte covers games, I've noticed when I look at the box score, there's one guy that usually has big games, and that's Terry Rozier.
Yes, I like Rozier. He's a good option on a bad team, but I don't know. You're right. Coming back home, I think we'll see it really start to pay dividends their next home game. That first home game back is still kind of like you got jet lag a little bit. Like when you first come back from Vegas, you kind of got that first feeling. I feel like these guys, when they first get back home off the long road trip like Charlotte was. So they did have 2 days off, but I don't know if they just are ready to hoop at home. We'll see. But I like Chicago tonight. We'll see if the Bulls can keep it rolling.
I think you get the Bulls here. You get a lot of defense from the Bulls. They seem to play that defense here for their coach. Vucevic, also to note here, and again, when Vucevic was out, we saw that team go backwards. So against Vucevic, a key component there in that team.
Yeah, Vooch, he is a key component. He's one of the more underrated guys in the league, in my opinion. He was an all-star at one point. He probably hasn't been playing to that level recently, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been playing really good. And the Bulls are much better with him than they are without him. With him back in the fold, you kind of seen it pay dividends in their defensive numbers and things like that.
All right. Of course, unfortunately, we can't talk Longhorns and Washington in this one, but we can tell you we can look here at the Cowboys as hopefully we can talk about the Cowboys next week as they will be facing the Green Bay Packers here. And we have seen the Cowboys pretty big favorites here. I think at last check it was 7.5 here against the Pack at home.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Hey, 2014, Dez caught it, man. I'm going to my grave with that. I am. 2016, Aaron Rodgers threw that dime to Cook on the sideline. What a beautiful catch it was, and the Green Bay Packers sent us home in the amazing rookie season from Dak and Ezekiel Elliott. We haven't beaten the Packers, I want to say, in 12 years or something crazy like that. So I think it's storybook. Also, our head coach is the former head coach of the Green Bay Packers going up against the guy who replaced him as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. A lot of motivation running through the veins here in Dallas. Remember, my team has won 16 straight home games. I expect these boys to come home and play extremely well. I believe 7.5 is right where it should be. Right above the touchdown and the hook. In all honesty, I think they win the game by 10 points. So we'll see how it shakes down.
We'll see how that one shakes down here. Jay here, I'm looking at the Cowboys here. Look at the Bulls tonight, 6.5 against the Hornets tonight here at 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Lots of action on the board tonight. NBA doing great. What do you have going on at the site?
Yes, sir. I just have one play for sale tonight. It's my NBA play of the day. My long-term subscribers, you have my college football play in there. But for sale, I just have my NBA play of the day. Rolling on that play. We are 10-2-1 last 13, and we are 35-18-3 last 56. So on that NBA play of the day, you guys can scoop that play up over at Big Dogs Premium, or you can hop on something longer term. I definitely will have more NBA plays throughout the week. It was not the sexiest card, in my opinion, in the NBA tonight. My second favorite play is probably the Bulls. So, so I'll have plays throughout the week. You guys can hop on something long term, and we'll continue to make some money betting the NBA. And, there's a little bit of hockey. Still got college hoops. Still a great time of year to be trying to make some money betting sports.
That's right, guys. Get aboard with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from Jay. 1,313 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, so get on board with Jay. Of course, you can go long-term with the 3, 7, 30 All Sports Pass. But the 1-month pass will get you the entire playoffs here from the NFL with that 1-month All Sports Pass, all the college hoops, NBA, NHL for that 30-day period. Also, Jay, you have that all access as well for the big players.
Yes, sir. My all access club, man. You guys can join if you like betting the NBA pretty heavily nightly. The guys that have been in there, I believe we're at 101 units exactly the last few months since we started it. So 100% documented. We'll send you the report if you want to join, man. But I'm just trying to help you guys make some money betting the NBA. It's for the guys that have asked me for that next level premium service. It's my rating system. But like I said, we've been enjoying some really good profits thus far in the NBA season. We're only in the second week of the year. It's the second Monday of the year, so there's still a ton of NBA. NBA runs to the summer, so still plenty of time to hop on and make some money as we try to cash out betting the NBA.
That's right. 5 months from now will be June 8th, and it will be the NBA Finals. Could be like Game 3, Game 4 of the NBA Finals 5 months from now. So there's lots of NBA action to go. Now, 5 months from now, Jay, I'll put you on the spot. Who will be playing that Game 3 or 4?
Right now, I'm gonna say Denver and Boston is what I'm gonna say.
All right.
I think a lot can happen between then and now, but for right now, I'm gonna give you guys Denver and Boston.
That's right. Another 5 months until we get there, right? Into the finals, June 8th, probably around Game 3, Game 4 of the finals. So that's the time that we're looking at. So get on board with Jay with that all access pass. All right, Jay, have a great night. Also, let everybody know what you got going over at Pick Dogs, all these video series, live show, and your rundowns.
Yeah, man, ton of video content from me here at Big Dogs. Love doing it. You guys can catch me on the morning show with Mitch, Ruffalo, Costi pops in twice a week. Romanelli's on Wednesdays, so tune into the morning show. Love doing that show with the guys. My jam session drops every day. As I cook up the NBA, I drop the NFL every weekend as well. NFL playoffs coming up. And then you guys catch me like 3-4 times a week right here with Tony T as well in the afternoon. So ton of content for me. Always love talking with all the guys, man. And I host the weekend shows as well. So just love talking sports, man. Nowhere else I'd rather be. So
absolutely,
Big Dogs,
guys.
check us out.
Check them out, guys. Pick Dogs. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Like and subscribe. And set those notifications so when these live shows air, you get the notification to watch them, get the plays in real time. All right, Jay, have a great night. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
Appreciate you, Tony. See you soon.
You got it. Jay Briggs here on the drive, too. Let's continue here on the show. Let's get some college football coverage here for the last time this season. We'll bring in Brad Francis, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. I think we'll be all set to go in just a second here with Brad. Brad, ready to roll. Brad, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tony? How we doing today?
I'm doing great here. All right, here we go. It's a championship game. Washington, Michigan going head-to-head on ESPN. Note the time here, 7:30 Eastern time. Some of you guys are used to those 8 o'clock, 8:30 Eastern time starts here. Nope, this is 7:30 Eastern. If we see Michigan has moved up to 5.5. It opened 4.5. It was 4.5 this morning. Then we've seen it move to 5, 5.5. Now for some of the money coming in on Michigan, it's not the late money because we're still about an hour from kickoff here. Total sits 55.5.
Yeah, I'd be curious if it moves between now and game time. But I'm going to look at a player prop here. I'm looking at Michigan's quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, to go over his yards total. I got it at 200.5, so I'm not too sure what it is at now, but I like him to, possibly get to that 250, 300 range, honestly. I could see him having a really good game here. Last week against Bama, J.J. only threw the ball 27 times, and they definitely had a run-first mindset in that game, and he was still able to put up 221 passing yards in that game. And, Bama had a really good secondary, and this one he has a much easier matchup against Washington, who has the 20th ranked secondary in the country. With the way Washington plays, this game definitely has potential to become a shootout, which will force Michigan to have to move the ball through the air rather than just running the ball. So I like him to get over the yards here. He's gone over this number 8 times this season against Big Ten defenses, which are typically no joke. So I don't see why he wouldn't get past the 200 mark against a Pac-12 Washington defense here. So I think it's going to be a fun, exciting game, and I think Michigan's going to have to throw the ball to stay in it. So give me JJ over 200 right here. It's 201.5 passing yards.
All right, there we go here with Brad here. So a play here from J.J. McCarthy over 201.5 passing yards here in this one tonight here. And he's only done that, let's see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, once out of the past 5 games. But this is a different situation where, Michigan has not faced a quarterback like Penix. You go back and down that roster. I mean, let's face it, the non-conference was a total joke. Plays in East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green. I mean, it wasn't that hard. Of course, he played Alabama there, but again, the quarterback Milroe more I don't think he's at in that same conversation with the top quarterbacks in college football. Ohio State, we saw the quarterback transfer out of that. It tells you that. The Maryland quarterback is trying to get an extra year of eligibility. Tyler Voa, he's trying to do that to do a graduate transfer. Then you got cruddy quarterbacks with Indiana, Minnesota, Nebraska, Rutgers. I mean, they faced a lot of bad quarterbacks there at Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how this Michigan team faces a really good quarterback. Because, like you said, they're not playing Iowa in this one. It's definitely a different type of matchup. And I think that's what's going to make this a very exciting game. So yeah, I mean, in a game like this against Washington, I'd be curious to see what quarterbacks who played against Washington, what their passing yards were. I think 200 just is a tad bit low here.
Yeah, and the only thing that kind of scares me here is the fact that Michigan can just play keep away, right? Have the football, run the football, get first downs, grind out the clock, shorten the game, keep that Penix offensive machine off the field. We see that a lot in the NFL, but we have a former NFL coach that knows knows the mind games, knows the strategies, knows how to move his chess pieces. Remember, my mistake in here, Michigan. Let me look here. I think they undered a lot, and also too, they don't run a lot of plays because they really eat clock. This Michigan team.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. I mean, their running back is an absolute stud, but I think playing that keep away game could get risky against a Washington team who, if Penix and that offense gets hot, you don't want to be playing keep away for too long because it could get out of hand if Washington's able to get a couple stops on defense, and if that offense gets hot, man, they could run out the scoreboard very quickly. Yeah,
especially that accuracy we see here from Penix. Of course, the stadium is indoors. You're not going to have bad weather here to screw things up. Remember, Penix had a lot of games in bad weather up there in the Pacific Northwest. He still was able to eke out, get those wins because those Pacific Northwest, those November games are always tough up there, and he was able to still maintain some pretty respectable numbers.
Exactly, yeah, and I mean we saw what he did last week. It's fun to watch him playing in indoors. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, there we go. So J.J. McCarthy over 201.5 passing yards tonight in the college football championship game. All right, local rep pick for tonight's action. Of course, we have an NBA on the board. Big game tonight as well. We actually on the ice. College basketball. We see Brad doing great performance right now here in the NBA. 1,392 units of profit. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got 2 plays right now. So I got my college football best pick of the day. So if you're looking to make some money in this national championship game, go check out that play. And then if you're a long-term pass holder of mine, I also have a college basketball play as well. I think it's a great time to hop on a long-term pass. As you've seen, I've been doing really well in the NBA. And then actually in all sports, I've had a really hot start to the year. I actually haven't had a losing day yet in 2024. So I'm looking to keep that going. So definitely check out anything long-term.
That's right. Get on board with Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. See to get results here. 1,392 units of profit. NBA, of course, a long-term pass will serve you well. 3/7 All Sports Pass. Get all of his premium plays for that time for just select one. Go to his handicap page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you will save that 15% off. All right, Brad, as always, great having you show. Do that success. We'll catch up with you next week. But let everybody know they can catch up you every day here on the YouTube channel on Pick Dogs with your video series.
Yep, got the parlay of the day every single day. So I really enjoyed doing those videos. So go check those out on Pick Dogs YouTube there.
Absolutely, guys. So go ahead and check it out. Like, subscribe, hit those notifications so when Brad drops those videos, you'll get them in real time. All right, Brad, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
You got it. Brad Francis here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on. Up next, let's bring him Jovan Burts. Catch him over at Pig Dogs Premium. We'll bring Jovan in right now. I think we'll be set to roll in just a second here. Let me get him on the screen. We'll bring him in here with NBA coverage here on this Monday afternoon. Let's see, we get him in right now. Jovan, what's happening?
Hold on, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing great, Looking forward to tonight's action on the court. You got one tonight here between the Thunder and the Washington Wizards going head-to-head here. As we see the Thunder now, it was 11.5 earlier, coming down a little bit to 11, the total 245.5.
Yeah, and I'm on the under in this one. You know, this is a Washington Wizards team, just a bad, pathetic basketball team, that's to be sure. And while they do give up a lot of points, they're just middle of the road overall this year as far as points. But they're, more importantly, they're an inefficient offensive team. You know, and that's going to play itself out in this game, where in the last 3 games, and, you know, they've been on a 4-game losing streak. They lose a lot of games. We all know. But in the last 3 games, they've scored 101 points, 90 points, and 100 points. You know, so it's going to take a lot of scoring for the Thunder to, you know, get over this total. You know what I mean? And with the way the Thunder are playing, they're not really playing like their efficient offensive selves neither. You know, so I think when the rubber hits the road, it's going to be one of those games where it's a lot of choppy offensive play. It's going to be a little bit ugly than expected. I don't think that neither team is going to put up a highly efficient offensive basketball game. It's going to be a lot of play on both ends of the court as far as on Washington goes. And, you know, hey, the Thunder are on the 2-game losing streak, so you can't really bank on them to, you know, get the job done and put these guys away and just blow them out by like 30 or 40 points. So, you know, I'm on the under in this one.
And there we go here with Jovan here on Thunder Wizards under 246.5. You hit the nail on the head here with this Wizards team. Yeah, they can play fast. They shoot the ball well at home at 49%, but man, sometimes they're their own worst enemies with these turnovers. I mean, a lot of turnovers over last game and can be inefficient. Not a good 3-point shooting team. Just don't think all of a sudden that these fast teams that can put up points can do so, you know, consistently. Again, as you said, the turnovers, the misses, the lack of rebounding. And really, when you look at these teams, when you look at the stat line, heavy on the points but light everywhere else in these other columns.
Right, you hit the nail on the head yourself with, you know, not only the turnovers, but not being able to grab rebounds. So they're basically one and dones. You know, not grabbing offensive boards and putting it back in the rim. You know, and then that's really the main thing. You know, with this Washington Wizards team. You know, you watch this team play. They're taking bad shots, and it's really starting with Poole's bum ass. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, look at how his career ended up. You know, he was riding high with Golden State. Then he was feeling himself a little bit too much. He always was a bad shot taker. You know, and now it's fitting that he's on one of the worst teams in the NBA, taking a lot of bad shots. I feel sorry for Kyle Kuzma, to be quite honest. But as far as Jordan Poole goes, yeah, he takes a lot of bad shots, and he's basically the head of the food chain, you know, when it comes to that team.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, you know, when you watch their offenses, as you said, they take bad shots, and it just doesn't seem like sometimes like if they don't have the ball, their mind's not into the possession.
Right, you know, and you know we're used to this from the Washington Wizards. You know, they usually have, you know, a bunch of bad players over the years since. When was the last time they won a championship in late 70s?
70s,
you know,
right?
Yeah, so,
Unsettled, and all those. Yeah, Elvin Hayes.
They haven't been good. They haven't been good in a very long time. You know, they did have a little stretch where, you know, they was turning the corner maybe about I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't know.
Eddie Jordan was coaching.
They had little spurts when they had Gilbert Arenas,
yeah.
2000. You know, and then, you know, a few years ago, you know, with Bill and what's my man's name? Who's not there anymore? Who's getting John Wall?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
When they were around, yeah. Then, you know, they try to keep it going with Russell Westbrook. You know, they were making a playoff but get knocked out in the first round. But yeah, it's just back to the same old bad football play. So there's really not much to say about this team.
Yeah, same old Wizards. Yeah, back when they had that Russell, they had that run for the 10 seed, right? They made that. They were at the bottom of the chain. They got Westbrook, and they made that run for the 10 seed. They got knocked out, as you said. Of course, you've been out there.
Right.
We've been talking about this, so now it's big news now here with the Belichick. We just found out he has another year left in his contract. We both kind of talked about how he's been able to get a good defense. As a matter of fact, I was listening to one of the guys I respect, Ace. Who was the quarterback for Atlanta? Oh my goodness, back in the just retired. Matt Ryan, right? Matt Ryan said the same thing we said. Yeah, I mean, look, he's got the defense playing well. All they need to do is fix the quarterback position. What's the feel like right now in New England with, forget about the fanboys that listen to sports radio, what the smarter heads out there, what are they saying about this Belichick situation?
I mean, pretty much the consensus is that, he's done. It's time to part ways. There's a few cooler heads that are saying, if they could just fix the offense, or if he could relinquish his GM duties, which he said that he was willing, to do whatever was best for the football team, and I guess that includes that. So he's really right now, the consensus is that he's playing chess right now with the Crafts, because he had a news conference saying that he's under contract. That's one. So he's playing, because this is a guy who never has talked about his contract. So just to bring it up abruptly, he's putting the ball in the Crafts' court basically. You know what I'm saying? So he's like he's not going anywhere. You're gonna have to fire me basically. And really the fact of the matter is he still knows how to coach. The defense is still intact. It's just the offense is god awful. Now, there's been a few things over the years that have brought it to this point, and Mac Jones draft pick, which word is he didn't make that pick. It was forced upon him. They said that was a craft move. So, hey, I don't know which way it's gonna go, whether he stays or goes, but maybe he'll play out. Maybe he'll play for maybe the Crafts will let the contract play out for one more year, have a succession plan, because I don't think the Crafts plan right now.
Yeah, that's how it looks that way. All right, here, Jovan here on Thunder Wizards under 246.5, top of the hour. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for nice action. NBA up on the board tonight, college football as well. We also have up on the board tonight here, action here from college hoops as well. Jovan looking great the last 30 days. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a 5-pack going in the NBA. Really like this card in the NBA. Also have national championship game going standalone. You can get that on the website as well, or you can give me long term, 3 days, 7 days, 30 days, yearly, or maximum one of the other handicaps for the 2-point capital motion. Can't go wrong here at Sports Chat. Play some pick dogs. Let's get it.
Get on board. Jovan Burts over at Pick Dogs. Great results over the last 30 days for Giovanni. He's been on absolute fire. No better time than now to get the long-term pass. You could also go look at his numbers here from the NFL: 1,200 units of profit, 1,238. NBA, 1,466 units of profit. So no better time to get that 1-month pass to get all of Giovanni's premium plays for that 30 days. Get all of his NBA, all his NFL. Covers the entire NFL playoffs when you get that 1-month pass. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Jovan, as always. Get it. Great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you there on Friday. But very shortly, we're going to see the return of your video series.
Yeah, I would say in the next couple weeks. I don't know exactly what I want to do as far as what specifically I'm going to do. Whether I want to continue the parlays or do something else. So just trying to work out some logistics.
There you go. Keep an eye, guys.
I say give it another couple weeks, and I'll be right on board with that.
All right, a couple more weeks, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Jovan appears, he appears on the drive-thru twice a week. You can catch him on the weekend show. Of course, soon, in a few weeks, we'll have that video series. All right, Jovan, have a great night. We'll catch up with you there on Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win. And see you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on. Guys, if you ever miss a pick, you join us late, We will do a recap at the end of the show, so don't go anywhere. Let's continue on to the drive. So don't go anywhere because we know Rod Zawacky's up next. Catch him over at Pick Dog Swim. Get some action on the ice with Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Hey, not too much. Getting excited. This great action tonight in tonight's slate. As Jovan said, loaded card tonight. Excited.
Yeah, loaded card tonight. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot going on tonight. Just middle-sized cards, but there's some juice. There's some juice, the meat on these bones tonight. Of course, everyone will keep an eye on that Michigan-Washington game, and of course, we got this, NHL up there as well. NBA's got some matchups. Boy, a good one late at night tonight. Of course, Rod's worrying that the Illinois game, if you had him on Friday, you'd be loving life, right, Rod?
Well, you bet.
You like all those points, right? All those points.
You know, I like Illinois. I've liked Illinois in college hoops for a little bit. Still looking good. You got to just find the spots when you ride them, because they're not as good as they were the last couple seasons, but they definitely not a bad team this season as well. You can find them some nice value with Illinois in spots.
That's right. Good enough on Friday. That's all you need for the points. Good
enough on Friday. Yeah.
Good enough. That mattered. So here we go on the ice tonight with the Dallas Stars on the road here facing Minnesota Wild. Stars favored $1.34, total 6.5.
Yeah, you look at this total and at this price, and it's like the Stars are on the road. And you look at this one. For me, look who's getting the start for the Stars. Murray, a.k.a. Matthew Murray. Don't get with the other Matt Murray. This is a young up-and-comer with the Dallas Stars. But he was in the NHL last season, came out and played 3 games with the Stars. He didn't look good then. He was 0-2-1 in those games, over 3 goals against average, and below 900 save percentage. Did he look in net for the Stars? And on the Wild, we know what Gustafson's been out for long term, and it's been Fleury. Well, Fleury finally tied Patrick Waugh for the record. Last game out. You know what? For me, at this price, 120, I'm going to go with the Wild here to get that streak and get it over with and get it done. This Wild team has played the better hockey. Everybody's looking at the number where they see in the first meeting of the season. It was 8-5 for the Stars in that one, but different goalie, different game, different part. That was way back in November. Different coach now for the Wild in this one, and I just don't trust this Matt Murray for the Stars. He came up, played 3 games, and 0 wins when he came up. This is one of those big moments that remember when Fleury sets the number 2 for all-time goalie wins record here tonight, January 8th, 2024. A long time before you see anybody bust that record. It gets set tonight.
There you go.
Take the Wild.
Wild there from Ryan with the plus here against the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars team, as you said, the goaltending issue. They get 4 goals or greater in 4 of their past 5. Minnesota had some issues getting the puck in the net, but they got 4 across against Columbus there to get the win.
Exactly. They got 4 against Columbus. You know why? Because Columbus gives up the power play. The Stars team, when you're playing bad defense and you worry about their goalie, and that's what happens here. The Stars definitely, as a team, are not going to be confident with who's in net. As St. Wedgwood was starting to get peppered, he was just getting overworked, and now you got Matt Murray. They've seen what he's done. Still without a win. They're going to try their hardest for him, but they're going to make mistakes, and as the Dallas Stars know, you're going to put this Wild team on the power play, and if you put this Wild team on the power play, Matt Boldy's going to make you pay, and that's what happened last time. He got a couple power play goals is the reason why they won that game 4-3. Take Matt Boldy to get another anytime goal. The Wild are dealing with some injuries on their own and have been beat up, and maybe have 1-2 top lines that are going, and those 3rd, 4th guys have stepped up a little, play some solid defense. And hey, sometimes those 3rd, 4th guys, when they get their shot up there, they shine and take advantage and make some noise and pop one in there. But I think Matt Boldy gets another one. Stars give him a couple too many power plays in this one, and the Wild capitalize.
All right,
and get the win.
The win W there, Wild plus 160, plus 121. Do your line shopping, get the best number. That's the way you do it. Tonight here at 8 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Doctrine for tonight's action. Of course, on the board side, we are waiting for that big title game tonight from college football, starting in just about 40 minutes from now. Of course, NBA on the board, action on the ice, lots of college hoops. Rod doing great work for the year. 835 minutes of profit document over at Pick Dodge Premium for 2024. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, good start to the year. 6 of the last 7 days have been winning days over at the site. I've got a Monumental Monday. I've got the winner in the national championship tonight and your side, as well as my NHL sniper play. We're going for my 5th straight on it as well. So hot in that play on the NHL. So you can scoop all that up in a single pass, or you can get the NHL sniper play alone, or you can get the national championship play alone, singly as well. And I believe I have an NBA play up there for long-term subscribers. So jump aboard as we come into 2024 hot. And now's the time to jump aboard. Use that promo code PICK at checkout and save 15%. And join me for a nice long term as we start 2024. We're going to crush this national championship tonight and continue to crush the NFL. Having a nice season there. I can't wait for this season's playoffs. It's going to be great. We're going to have some great action, great matchups to kick off the wild card week as well. Hey, Tony?
That's right. Great matchups indeed, guys. Get on board with Zawacky over at Pick Dodge Premium. 835 minutes of profit. 2024, great time to get on board with Rod. Remember the long-term passes. You see that 30-day pass. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Rod. We always like to talk to you about NFL. If any line looks out of whack, anything look out of whack to you? Or are they really tight here because we're in the playoffs?
I think some of these lines are really tight because it is the playoffs, right? You look at that. I think that Buffalo line snuck up to 10 for what? Not very long. I know I seen a 10 pop up very shortly. It was there for like a second. I looked and was like, ooh, there's a 10. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, back to 9.5. So I don't think we're going to see a 10 again on that one. So that's about right where it is. You figure. Ones that are jumping out at me, you look at Miami coming into Kansas City. We've seen it was 21-14 earlier this season there. So that's about right there. Still don't know who's in and who's out with Miami there. Green Bay, I don't know. That's a lot of points in that one for me. The other one, you Rams on the road, 3.5. That's about right. The other one with the Eagles. Do you want to lay anything with the Eagles? Do you want to lay anything with the Eagles? The problem is with that one, I look at it and I'm like, okay, the Eagles have been that bad coming down the stretch, but. You got the Bucks. How are they going to score? They only score 7 on Carolina, and
3,
and you got 2
9.
points. 3,
9.
yeah, 3,
yeah, 9.
right? It was 9 points. 9 points. 9 nothing was the score of that game. You should have lost that game. I don't know how you won it. Carolina in that game.
Oh, the Carolina was going for the touchdown. He fumbled, right? He went in the.
They go for the touchdown. He fumbles it out the back of the end zone.
Oh,
they missed the field goal. I think they fumbled out of the end zone twice. Not once, but twice, right out of the end zone.
God.
And then missed a field goal. You should have lost that game 17-0. So your offense wasn't good.
No.
It's like you got to score enough to win. So it's like, oh, that's gonna be an ugly game.
No, that one's tough there. And the thing with Tampa Bay is they have like the worst running game, right? In the NFL, I think they're 3.5 yards a carry. So that's the problem there with the Tampa Bay. That's when it hurts you in the playoffs, right? You're just one-dimensional.
Because you become one-dimensional, and everybody just can sit back and they can play a zone and you're going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
We know you're going to throw the ball, so you can just sit back and wait for it, and that doesn't bode so well. Teams like that become one-dimensional just don't last very long in these playoffs.
Yeah.
But no, these are tight. These are some pretty tight lines, and as it gets later in the season, we know these injury reports. You got to see who's in, who's out. Some guys still took a beating, even in Week 18. In games that people were like, oh, there's some Unions games. Now there are some bruiser slobber knocker games as well.
Yeah, there are some.
Look at what do you think about that Saints play? I don't know.
Well, Jameis Winston is still immature, right? He's just still immature. That's just, he's still the same.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. But the team decided. We all decided, and it's like we decided.
Well, you are the leader in the huddle. Okay, you're the quarterback, and you make a play you do something like that. It's just
I'm just glad nobody got hurt. Right, that's the biggest takeaway from that.
Right, because everybody lets up. They let up.
They don't expect the ball. Yeah. The other side wasn't ready for that. They weren't ready for all of a sudden a 300-pound lineman to be come plowing at you.
Right.
When you figure you're going to take a knee and the game's over.
Right. At some time, you're going to be in that position where you're taking a knee, and the defense and the Atlanta defense are going to take a shot at your quarterback. There's
and come flying over the top. He's just going to take a knee, eh? Okay, well, I'm going to come flying over the top and take him out.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I needed one more sack to add my points, right?
Absolutely, no doubt about that. They're all looking to get that extra sack, no question about that. So should be interesting to see here. All right, Rod, just to remind everybody, you did give a bonus play during the first segment, right?
I did the first segment. You know what? I like Corum to get the first touchdown in this game. And you know what? I like everybody's Odunze this and Odunze that. But did anybody forget about Will Johnson? He's going to be the guy that's covering Odunze. And how many touchdowns he's given up this year? 0. He's an NFL-type wide out there for Michigan. And Odunze is going to be in for a tough day. You got to beat Will Johnson. And if you can beat Will Johnson, tip my hat to you, buddy. But I don't think I'll tip my hat to you. But if you do, you can't. I don't think you're going to. 89.5 yards. I don't see Will Johnson giving up 89.5 yards. He went up against the best receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. in Ohio State. Sure, he did give up 113 in that one, but he's improved a whole lot since then. So good luck. I like Odunze under the 89.5 yards. I don't think he gets that. I think Will Johnson's too tough on him there. And I like Corum to get that first touchdown.
Casey, we've seen, of course, we're all over social media, so there's different chats out there. We've seen Ron Crawford here chiming in with Penix's performance. Remember, he faced Michigan as an Indiana Hoosier back in 2020. 30 for 50 passing, 352 yards in a victory against Michigan.
Yeah, but that's not the same team. That's not even the same Michigan defense from 2 years ago there, Ron. You can't. You're just saying that all of a sudden the guys is that the same guys that were on the Michigan defense then? I don't think so. I didn't even think Will Johnson was on the team back then to defend Penix's passes. You look at Michigan's numbers this season as well. Yeah. Defending the pass, they were pretty good. Really good at defending.
Well, I'll put this.
Number 2 in the nation.
But facing Rutgers, facing UNLV, facing Iowa. I mean, Nebraska. This is a lot of garbage. A lot of garbage QBs.
They did the job against Alabama, didn't they?
That's right.
and that QB was on a roll. He was on a roll. He rolled right into this Michigan team. We'll see. I think it's going to be quite the game here tonight. So
still 5.5. Haven't seen
one from the record books. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we haven't seen the 6s yet. Some people thinking they're mad. We're seeing some guys in the chat room speculating that will we get. I think people out there waiting for a 6. And where is the 6 at? Someone says there's a 6 now, so I don't see the 6. But
is there 6 out already?
Somebody said there's a 6 out there. I'm seeing 5.5, so I don't see a 6. So unless there's locals giving them a 6. And even the guys in the bars are getting 5. The guys in the bars, the street bookie line, that's 5.
Most people get 5, yeah.
The street bookie. Unless you're in Michigan, you're dealing with a local that's not using the street bookie line. But we have seen 5.5s in Vegas. Now we're seeing the 5s go to 5.5 in Vegas. So some of the sharper books in Vegas getting a lot of Michigan money here. We knew a certain property where the owner went to Michigan. That's going to be what's going to have a big number there. You knew that.
Was going to
he knew that was going to be.
He was going to have a little bit of money on that. Yeah. Well, we see him put him in the playoff game where he
could be spreading it out. He could be spreading out buying those.
Just
5s.
A little bit of the pizza money. Just a little bit of that pizza money onto Michigan. I think he.
Yeah. Everybody in Vegas now moving to 5.5, so he's probably spreading out those. You can't get the 5 if those guys that want the 5.5s are going to these other properties to scoop up the 5s, and now we're seeing 5.5s in Vegas. So that's where it sits right now. I don't see the 6 unless you're in Michigan and you're dealing with a bookie who's not using the bookie line. So maybe that's the case there. All right, Rob, let everybody know what you got going over. We have Pick Dogs. Everybody know about your video series, your A to Z coverage, NHL, every game on the board, as well as the parlay.
Yeah, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you get notified when all the new content drops over here at Pick Dogs. So much new content that gets dropped daily that you definitely don't want to miss out on any of that. But hockey, yeah, A to Z, as Tony said, hockey, every game on the board. More 10 games on the board. You've got a nice little parlay in there. So only 4 games tonight on the slate. and we covered the one real good here. I did have a parlay for tonight, so it's archived. Head on over, check it out. Definitely go from A to Z in hockey over there every video. Parlay video has been pretty good to us. We hit our parlay video on the morning show yesterday, so check out today's. I think we got a nice winner there as well.
There we go. Check it out, guys. Like, subscribe, set those notifications, get those video series from Rod. All right, Rod, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again on tomorrow's show.
Definitely have yourself a good night, Tony. Good luck with all your bets, everybody. Crush it. Keep crushing the books.
Crush
That's
it.
what 2020
Absolutely.
is all about.
About
Put money into your pocket.
Put money indeed.
See you guys.
See you tomorrow. Rod Zawacky here on The Drive, dude. Let's continue on the coverage. Guys, we'll get to the recap, then we'll get to My Play. My Play goes up late in the afternoon. Looks like ESPN Bet was where the 6 was out there, so keep an eye out. All right, let's continue on here on The Drive, too. We'll go to the recap right now. Brian was on the Rockets, +4 against the Heat. We had David here, Flyers, +111 against the Penguins. And we had Jay on the Bulls, laying the 6.5 against the Hornets. Brad was on JJ McCarthy, over 201.5 yards. Jovan here, Thunder Wizards, under 246.5. Rod was on the Wild, +116 against the Stars. I'll be on the Suns, take the 5.5 against the Clippers. And the one I like the most, we'll go here with that Jovan pick here, under 246.5, Thunder and Wizards in that one. And, of course, we'll come back to my pick here real quickly here with the Suns, a Clipper game. We're going to come in here with the Suns here, +5.5. It looks like to me, based on this injury report, that Durant is probable. So is Gordon. So we got Durant, Booker, and Beal, and Grayson Allen all together, and Yusuf Nurkic all together in the lineup. I know they're both back-to-backers here for both teams. Clippers in a back-to-back. I'd rather go with the Suns in a back-to-back spot, getting the points. Of course, only person on the Clippers in the report is that big Frenchman Diabate, right? He's the only one he does, because he doesn't see a whole lot of minutes. I saw him last year in preseason, raw talent. Not getting a whole lot of minutes. You're not going to get a lot of minutes here with this lineup. Yeah, Zubac with the big rebounding game last night, but still, I don't know if he can replicate that. Again, you always worry about Kawhi, Paul George, James Harden in back-to-backs. We're in a back-to-back spot here. Of course, so far, there's nothing indicating that anyone's going to sit, but who knows, as these players enter the arena, it's still, we're about 4 Pacific. We're still 3.5 hours before game time, so players should be coming in probably around 5-ish maybe. So we'll see what happens here, how the players will come up here in a back-to-back spot. But I'd rather take the Suns on the points in this kind of spot here. We saw the Clippers fall to the Lakers last night, but I'm not really going to base it on that. It's just kind of the spot here. I'll take the Suns with the points in back-to-backers. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs. I have a 3-pack up there on the board. Singles from the college football and a couple from the NBA. You can get on board with me there, or you can get a long-term pass for myself. I've got a 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Select when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code Pick and Checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, we got to the recap. Of course, I thank everyone for joining us here on the show. That's going to do it for this edition here of The Drive-Thru. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in all our cappers from Big Dog Sports Chat Place. They'll get their plays in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show here live during the week, 10:30 a.m. each time. You got Chris, you got Jay, you got Mitch up there with you. Also, you got Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. His betting tool show also out there with Mitch. It's a 7 picks in 5 minutes. We also have a Ron Romanelli rundown of college basketball as well as college football is over right tonight. So it'll just be college basketball from Jay with his NFL and NBA rundown. Of course, we also you can catch Rod's A to Z coverage from the NHL. Every game on the board as well with the parlay from Rod Zawacky. Of course, we also have Chris with his NHL video series as well, as we have video series as well from Nick Mencken. First half from the NBA. Parlay videos here from our man Brad Francis. Mills will give you the UFC rundown. UFC coming back in this week, right? UFC as well as his prop shop videos. Make sure you check that out. All access here from Big Al McMorty against the public betting with Dana Lane. Sharp contrarian plays here from Brian Bitler, and more Costi with his sharp trading plays as well. And lots of coverage here at Pick Dogs. You gotta just make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when these videos drop, you get them in real time. All right, that's going to do it here. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room today. More picks coming in here from Rod Zawacky in the chat. J-Man with a shout out there. Mac Perry. We've got Mills in the chat tonight. Creeper 700. Check out their plays up there, guys, in the chat. As well as Carolyn Hines in there as well. Like in Washington, money line there as well. Jay Briggs in there as well. In there coming in lots of plays from Mills as well from this game tonight. Check him out in the chat. J-Man also with more plays. Andy Edelson in there. Nicholas Haney, shout out to you as well. Ron Crawford with some great plays I've seen him. Texas Southern money line as well. And also shout out there to Panger Light in there as well. John Stewart in there. Seen a big bet coming on the Jazz money line. Also played the Wiz and Suns money line as well. That seems to be the trend there, is play those dogs on money line. If you got value there in the number, go for it as well. Fernando, shout out to you as well in the chat. Of course, thanks everybody for joining. Blake as well. Stephen Downey. All right, that's going to do it for our show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Wait, goodbye to guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with